Hi, Taurus. Some sage to cleanse the space. Three chimes to bring in positive energy. This is a general reading for the sign of Taurus. If you have Taurus anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. It is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, my name is Greta. I do want to welcome you to my channel. A little bit about how I read. I do trust my intuition. I am an intuitive reader. I do look at the sun placement, the moon placement, and other planetary placements to get a good idea of the energy that is surrounding you. But first and foremost, I do trust my intuition. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. What would you like Taurus to know or to be aware of? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. And look at that. You start off with that legacy wealth in your public life, in your professional life, in your career. That is money coming into you. A large sum of money. I think you're going to be enjoying the comforts of life with that legacy wealth. But it comes at a cost. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the Taurus. What would you like Taurus to know or to be aware of during or for this reading? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the Taurus. One more card for the Taurus. There we go. Let's just line these up just a bit. Ooh, I love that. Taurus, the foundation, the basis of your reading is fresh starts, new beginnings, new partnerships, new relationships, really starting fresh, breaking free of the old routines. And that is forced by the Eight of Swords, not feeling stuck. Perhaps in the recent past, you've been feeling stuck. You've been blinded. There's like you didn't know where to go. You didn't know what to do. But it looks like that is coming to an end. And it's coming to an end with breaking free of the things that were holding you back. And let's see how that plays into the rest of your reading. We're starting off on some really good positive notes here for you, Taurus. Again, the Ten of Pentacles is the legacy wealth. And so that legacy wealth is more than just the money. It's more than just the things. Legacy wealth includes the non-tangible items that are associated with wealth, like the happiness, the good feelings, the being able to share our abundance with others. That is beautiful. That is the, that could be, we could almost call that the having it all card. You know, the love for life, the zest for life, and the finances that will back that. And really enjoying the finer things in life. I really see you coming into a time where you're going to be able to enjoy the finer comforts of life as a result from your income, as a result from your finances. And that is followed by the Five of Wands. There's been some chaos. There's been some confusion. But this chaos and confusion, it's not the troublesome kind. It's the kind where I think you've been having a difficult time knowing what it is that you're passionate about, knowing what it is that you would like to do. And that can be chaos. I think that's the kind of chaos we're talking about here. But I see you moving past that, moving beyond that. You have found, or will soon be finding, what it is that you love to do, what it is that you're passionate about, as indicated by the Fool's card, which is, again, new beginnings, fresh start, having everything that we need to succeed, followed by the 10 of Cups. And the 10s in tarot represents beginnings and end. Beginnings and endings. And these are the two positive beginnings of the 10s. And so, again, just like when we were talking with that 10 of Pentacles, we were talking about its legacy wealth is more than the physical. You're enjoying the physical, but attached to that is the emotional and spiritual fulfillment. And that emotional and spiritual fulfillment comes when we're doing what we're passionate about. And I see that you have come to a point where you have a very clear idea of what it is that you're passionate about. And you're ready to take steps to achieve that. You're ready to become unstuck by moving outside of the walls or the things that have been holding you back. I see you pushing forward, pushing through that. Pushing forward, pushing through that. And as a result of pushing forward and pushing through that, Taurus, there's going to be a real boost to your income. I don't know if this boost is going to be with a new job, a raise, a bonus, or promotion, but you're getting the seal of approval, that seal of approval that you've been looking for. And this extra income that comes along with the seal of approval will have you enjoying the finer things in life. I'm so happy for you, Taurus. I'm so happy for you. You know, for most of us, that is one of the more difficult parts of life, is finding what it is that we're passionate about and having the courage to follow what it is that we're passionate about. And that is why we have this 5 of Wands here. It's like there's been some confusion. It's like, what am I passionate about? What is it that I want to do? But I see you working through that. I see you working through that. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, in your home life, in your private life, we start off with the King of Wands. And when I see the King of Wands in a reading, I think of the Libra. Perhaps you're dealing with a Libra. Maybe you have a little bit of Libra in your birth chart, but a Libra is someone that is seeking fairness, someone that is seeking balance. So either you or someone close to you that you're working with in your personal life, in your private life, is seeking balance and seeking fairness. And this looking for balance, looking for fairness, has caused a Tower moment. And, you know, Tower moments are not necessarily devastating. The Tower really talks about a shift. And even in your public life, we've been talking about that shift of enjoyment and seeking the finer comforts in life. Those comforts that don't necessarily have to deal with the physical, the tangible. It's the comforts and the fulfillment and the happiness that has to do with the emotional, that has to do with the spiritual. I see you really making a shift, making a transition where being emotionally and spiritually fulfilled are more important than having the little comforts. And because of that shift, the little comforts are coming. And again, another 10. I should probably pay closer attention to all the cards, but usually I just look at the cards in the order that they come. Thank you for being patient with me, Taurus. Another 10, which is an ending. But even though, we see someone that is on the battlefield and has been stabbed by all of these swords, I like to consider this as a happy ending. And why I consider this a happy ending is if we think of or look at the Nine of Swords, which is the card that comes before this. That Nine of Swords, to me, is the most painful deck in the card, or in the tarots. That Nine of Swords is really about stress, about sleepless nights. It's about the emotional pain, the spiritual pain, and the agony. And the Ten of Swords is the ending to that. The Ten of Swords is the ending, which would, in my mind, I like to say that's the happy ending, because all of that pain and all of that suffering that you have been experiencing as a result of this Tower moment is coming to an end. And it's coming to an end with justice. It's coming to an end with justice. And again, when I think of justice, I think of a Libra. And finding fairness, finding balances. And so you have two cards here that are indicating that you're dealing with a lot of Libra energy, where there needs to be a fairness, where there needs to be a balance. And this Mercury retrograde, anything that can go wrong will go wrong during that retrograde. Misunderstandings of words, and misunderstanding of words that lead to confrontations. There really isn't anything that can be said or done to change this situation. The only thing we can do is change. The only thing that we can change or that we can control is ourselves. We cannot change other people. We cannot control other people. We can only change or control ourselves. And as we change, or as we gain control of ourselves, that's when our environment, that's when the rest of our life starts to fall into place. Self-soothe. It's okay during these turbulent times to self-soothe with a walk, or with some time in nature, or honestly just listening to the sound of running water. There's many places online where you can go and play free soundtracks of nature. Just sit in a nice sunny window with our eyes closed and listen to nature. That is a wonderful way to self-soothe. I do believe, since Taurus does enjoy some of the finer things in life, it could be as simple as a nice candlelit bubble bath for ourselves. And just enjoying the warmth of the water and how those bubbles feel on us, and really connecting, which with each one of our senses. You know, how the bubbles feel on our skin. Have you ever done that where you're sitting in the tub and you have those bubbles and you do this? And you just feel that nice pressure of those bubbles. And then you can hear them crack and you can hear them pop. And then the fragrance of the bubble bath that just overtakes our senses. And so that is self-soothing when we appreciate each one of our senses. And then, you know, and maybe not try to, back to your private life. We can't force something, especially during retrograde. Retrograde is really about things not moving quickly. It's about delays. It's like we're taking one step forward and two steps back. And again, the only thing we can do during that retrograde is to self-soothe. But I will also say that after retrograde next month, especially after that first week of September, things are really going to start picking up for you and things are really going to start moving quickly. And so just take time to self-soothe and wait on making any forcements or any adjustments until September. And then we have the Emperor card, which is stern. Something, nothing is set in stone, Taurus. And the more stern, the more rigid we become, the more brittle life becomes. The Magician card, I love that you're getting that Magician card, which, you know, you have the Fool, you have the Four of Wands, which is really about new, fresh beginnings, new, fresh beginnings, new, fresh beginnings, happy endings, the ending of pain and suffer, fresh beginnings. The Star card. And the Star, this reading has just been amazing for you, Taurus. The Star card is, we can see she's practicing alchemy. She's taking from the physical and giving to the spiritual. She's taking from the spiritual and giving to the physical. She has found that balance. And that is really what this reading has been about. It's about balancing the physical and the spiritual, balancing the tangible and the intangible. And I see you doing that, and I see you being very successful at that. Very successful at that, very victorious at that. You know, Taurus, you do enjoy the comforts of life. As a Taurus, that's part of your nature. That's part of your birthright. There is nothing wrong with that, Taurus. You know, and again, self-soothe with nature, meditation, or maybe even a mantra, but for some reason I keep thinking bubble bath. And you have a blessed week.